Hello, baseball fans. This is King Ikibu coming to you live from Candlestick Park in San Francisco, where we are continuing on our Best of the 80s Replay Game of the Week. Today, from June the 17th, 1983, the Atlanta Braves at the San Francisco Giants. These are the top two teams so far in the National League West. Here are the current standings. You see the Blue Jays are running away with the American League East, surprisingly. Baltimore is tied for second. Baltimore, in real life, won this division. But Blue Jays are just incredible. They are, one-run games. They're 10-0 in extra inning games, and they are 19-3 in one-run games. So they're winning the close games. That a lot of people would say they're being lucky, but you got to be good to be lucky. That's the way I see it. But anyway, in our game of the week here, San Francisco, surprisingly, is in first place with a 36-26 record, and Atlanta is in second place, 3 games behind. Here's the statistics so far. Atlanta's won one game in a row, 6-4 in their last 10. They've scored 276 runs and have given up 248 for a difference of 28 runs. The Giants, 36-26, have won one game in a row. They're 7-3 in their last 10, and they are plus 63. The real series that took place at this time was 3-0 Giants. The Giants swept them, and head-to-head so far in the replay, 2 games apiece. At this time in baseball, the real record for the Atlanta Braves was 38-24, so they were 5 games off their pace that they had in 1983, while the Giants are 5 games ahead of their pace, as the real Giants were 31-31, and the replay Giants are 36-26. The record one-run games, Atlanta 9-10, San Francisco 8-12. So the Giants have been successful without being lucky, as they are 8-12 in one-run games and extra innings. Atlanta 1-2, San Francisco 1-3. The hottest players at June so far for Atlanta: Bob Horner, who has a slash line of 341, 482 on base, and 682 slugging. He has 4 home runs and 9 RBIs in June. And for San Francisco, Darrell Evans has been their leader much of the season. And I've said over and over again in the replay, why did the Giants why were they so anxious to trade this guy away? I don't get it. But anyway, and they ended up trading him after the season to the Tigers. I believe he was, let's check that. Was he a part of that 84 team? I will just check that. Evans. I want to make sure I'm not talking through my ear here. Yep, he was part of that 84 team, of course. You're saying, oh, Tiger fans are saying, of course he was. Why do you have to look it up? Yes. I'm not, know all things I don't, but I'm learning. Anyway, Evans has been outstanding all season, and in June he's batted .328, .446, .607 with 4 home runs and 9 RBIs. Our game today is game 1 of the series. Pascual Perez, a G7 Q2 pitcher. So far this season, he's 7-4 with a .282 ERA versus Atlee Hammaker, 10-2 pitcher, 8-1, .295. This is the pre-1983 All-Star Atlee Hammaker. We all know what happened to him in the All-Star game. He was totally shelled. Some say that he wasn't the same pitcher after that. I don't know if that's true. But he certainly was outstanding before that All-Star game. Let's look at the lineups for the Atlanta Braves, the visiting Atlanta Braves. Leading off and playing shortstop, Rafael Ramirez. Batting second and playing left field, Jerry Royster. Batting third and playing first base, Chris Chambliss. Batting fourth, the center fielder and real MVP, Dale Murphy. Batting fifth, the right fielder, Terry Harper. So it looks like the big hitter for the Braves, Bob Horner, isn't in the lineup today, as the and the 6th place hitter is Randy Johnson at third base. Then Glenn Hubbard is batting 7th at second base. Bruce Benedict is a catcher. He's batting 8th. And Pascual Perez batting 9th, the pitcher. For your San Francisco Giants, leading off and playing shortstop, Johnny LeMaster. Batting second, the third baseman, Tom O'Malley. Batting third, the red-hot hitter at first base, Darrell Evans. Batting fourth, equally or almost equally hot hitter, Jack Clark in right field. Batting fifth, the center fielder, Max Venable. I'll make sure I got Max right. Batting sixth, the left fielder, Jeffrey Leonard. Yes, of course, Jeffrey Leonard. And batting seventh, the catcher, Milt May. And batting eighth, the second baseman, Brad Wellman. It's Brad, right? Yes. And batting ninth, your starting pitcher, Atlee Hammaker. So you can see we're going to lead off now, and Ramirez steps up. The shortstop, he's batting .268 with a .311 on base and a .320 slugging percentage. He is quite a bit below so far his real totals, which were .337, .368. He has 2 home runs and 24 RBIs. And let's see what he does. He strikes out. Atlee Hammaker gets off to a good start. Here's Jerry Royster. Usually plays third, but he's in left field today. He is part-time. He's going to get a lot more at-bats as the season goes on, but so far he's only had 70 plate appearances, and he's only batting .152, well below his standards of .305, .328. So hopefully he can get things untracked. And he grounds out to the shortstop, and Chris Chambliss. He is the first baseman. People remember him as a Yankee. He has been with the Braves now for a few seasons. And he is pretty much at his target. On base .366, in the replay .367. He's batting .276, .367, and .497 with 10 home runs and 33 RBIs. He steps up with nobody out, or 2 out, here in the first inning. So he needs to get something going. And we have a possible error, and we roll a 22, so there's no error, and he flies out to right. So after 1/2 inning, Atlee Hammaker sends them down 1-2-3 in the first. Here's Johnny LeMaster batting .211, .277 on base, .260 slugging. Quite a bit below his real life totals. He has 2 home runs and 16 RBIs. But he's a decent shortstop. Shortstop 8, and he's a fast runner. Versus Pascual Perez, having a good season, 7-4, .282. And his possible error, no error. He fouls out to the third baseman, O'Malley, for 1 away in the first. Here, no, not O'Malley, to Johnson. Randy Johnson, yes, the big Randy Johnson decided he was going to play third base before he was a pitcher. No, this is a different Randy Johnson, of course. But Tom O'Malley steps up. He is batting .250, .335, .342. So he is pretty close to his real-life totals. 2 home runs, 23 RBIs. And he pops out to Randy Johnson for 2 away. Here's Evans, batting .311, .395, .610. 14 home runs, 45 RBIs. Let's see where he stands in the batting leaders of the National League. Of course, the batting leader is Lonnie Smith, who's currently in rehab. He's batting .371. He hasn't played for a few weeks. George Hendrick, now at first base since the Cardinals dealt away Keith Hernandez to the Mets. Now Hendrick is the first baseman. He's second in batting. Astros' Jose Cruz is third. Bruce Benedict of the Braves is fourth. Jack Clark of the Giants is fifth. And Evans is right here. He is 368th in the National League with a .311. He's tied with Tommy Herr. With home run leaders, he is tied with Steve Yeager of the Dodgers, who is playing over his head, out of his mind, as he has taken over for Mike Scioscia, who's out for the year with an injury. And he's been knocking the home runs all year, but he's tied with Darrell Evans, who tied for fourth, and RBIs, Evans is tied for third with George Hendrick. So you can see he's among the league leaders in almost all categories. Having outstanding season with his last year with the Giants. He comes up with 2 men out in the first, and he grounds out. So we have one perfect inning for both pitchers to start off with. Batting in the second inning, Dale Murphy, the center fielder. He is quite a bit underperforming. He is 292, 342, and 465. So far, the Braves, 3 of the 4 first batters are all underperforming. And that's why, if you remember, they're 5 games off the pace, primarily because their batters aren't performing up to their standards. But he has 11 home runs, 43 RBIs, and he flies out to center to center fielder Max Venable. Here's Terry Harper playing in the outfield. He strikes out, and Randy Johnson, the other Randy Johnson, he has 7 at-bats so far, or plate appearances. He has nothing, and he'll have 169 plate appearances this season. And he rolled doubles, but Pascual, or Atlee Hammaker, nullified the base hit, and the inning's over. So it brings up Jack Clark. He is overperforming. See, the Giants are typically overperforming, which is why they're 5 games over their pace, and the Braves are underperforming, 5 games under their pace. And one of them is Jack Clark. He's been outstanding. His pace was 361, 441, but he's batting 423, 596, 16 homers, 50 RBIs. And 50 RBIs leads the National League, with Andre Dawson 2 RBIs behind. So let's see if Jack Clark can continue his hot pace. And he walks the first base runner of the game. He's going to try to steal and doesn't get the jump. So he stays at first base for Max Venable. It's a curious choice to bat 5th, I think. Nobody thinks Max Venable was a 5th place hitter, but that's where he is today. He's batting 223, 427, and 404. He has 3 home runs, 14 RBIs. And he, because of the Z, Max Venable, who should have walked, it was nullified by Pascual Perez's Z. It's one of the most powerful ratings in the game to have for a pitcher. And instead of a walk, he only has 1 ball. And as a result, instead of walking, he's out on a fielder's choice. But Venable has a chance to steal. He has great speed. Let's see if he can. He can. He stole second base. So Max Venable's at second base with 1 out for Jeffrey Leonard. Jeffrey Leonard, of course, is overperforming. 10 home runs, 41 RBIs, 345, 524, which is 60 points higher than his real slugging. So he has a man in scoring position, and he flies out to right field to Terry Harper. There's 2 out for Milt May. Milt May is above in slugging, but he is below in on-base percentage. He only has 5 home runs, 10 RBIs. But see if he can get a 2-out knock here. And he doesn't. He fouls out to the very busy Randy Johnson. No, it wasn't. It's to O'Malley. Yes, it automatically changes teams, so I get fooled sometimes. Anyway, here's Glenn Hubbard coming up. He is batting 236, 307, 387, slightly below his real-life total. 6 home runs, 31 RBIs to face Atlee Hammaker, who has 2 perfect innings so far. And that could have been a hit, but Atlee's B takes it away. So it's just a ground out to short. Bruce Benedict, we saw he is among the league leaders in batting average. So he is one of the few Braves that's overperforming. He had 399 on base versus 385. Not really much overperforming. Doesn't have a home run. He's 17 RBIs. And he flies out. And then Pascual Perez, he's a pitcher. We don't have to talk about him. And he grounds out. So far, Atlee Hammaker has thrown 3 perfect innings. And let's see what Pascual Perez can do to Brad Wellman, a part-time player, only batting 203 for the Giants. Typically, it's Kuiper. Dwayne Kuiper usually is, I think he's out with an injury right now, though. Anyway, he walks. So Wellman is on. And Atlee Hammaker comes up and he will try to bunt. And he pops out into a double play. 1-1-3. Double play. What would that look like? 1-1-3. Well, you can use your imagination. But anyway, regardless, it's a double play. Brings up LeMaster, who's 0 for 1, who grounded to third base the first time up. Or actually, it wasn't ground. He popped out to third base. Because it's just 5. Yep, fouled out to third base. So with 2 out, here's LeMaster. And he hit double sixes, so he has a chance of a home run. Let's see what we roll. 22. He's in the inner circle here, and he rolls a 1. Does Pascual Perez have any voodoo? No, so this will be a home run for Johnny LeMaster, his 3rd of the season, and it's 1-0 Giants. So the normally light-hitting shortstop, Johnny LeMaster, hits one out of Candlestick Park, and it's 1-0 Giants. Tom O'Malley is up. He popped out as well, or to third base. First time up. But he has a lead now, 1-0, and he strikes out. So Atlee Hammaker has a 1-run lead and 3 perfect innings. As we go to the 4th inning, Ramirez, he flies out to center. Royster, he strikes out. Chambliss, he strikes out. So he has 4 perfect innings for Atlee Hammaker. And here's Darrell Evans. He grounded to short last time. And he flies out. Jack Clark gets a base hit. He's going to try to steal. He has a 2-1 chance of stealing versus getting thrown out. So we'll take that chance, and it just doesn't get the jump. So a man on first for Max Venable. And he hit into a fielder's choice the first time up. And he flies out to right to Terry Harper. And brings up Jeffrey Leonard, who flied out to Harper in the first time up. 2 out here in the 4th. And he gets a base hit. Clark goes to third. He's going to try to steal. And he does. So we have 2nd and 3rd with 2 out for Milt May. Milt May is 0 for 1. He popped out to the third baseman Johnson first time up. He walks to load the bases. Brings up Brad Wellman, who walked first time up. He would like to walk again. Let's see what he can do. There's a wild pitch. Perez throws it away. Benedict doesn't get to it, so the run scores. The runner was, let's see, who was the runner? Venable? Nope, Jack Clark scores from third, and it's 2-0 for the Giants. So Wellman gets another chance. Do we just put him on? He's not a great hitter, but we'll put him on anyway. So we'll intentionally walk him to get the Hammaker, and he strikes out to end the inning. So after 4 complete, the score is San Francisco 2, Atlanta 0. Here's Dale Murphy trying to be the first base runner for his team. And he gets a base hit. He rolls double 4s. A perfect game is over, and Murphy's at first base. He has a chance to steal. Any roll 23 or under is a stolen base. 66, he's thrown out. Anything in between is just nothing. And he rolls a 21, so he steals second. He's at second base. And he's a fast runner, which doesn't particularly mean that he is fleet of foot. What it means is in 1983, when he got on base, a higher percentage than not, he scored. He scored higher than the league average every time he got on base. That's what that means. If you have an S, it doesn't mean you're a slow runner. It just means you didn't score. You scored runs at a lesser than average amount in 1983 than your peers. Terry Harper's up. 1 home run, 9 RBIs. He struck out first time up. Perfect game is over here in the 5th inning. And he grounds out to short, and Murphy holds at second as LeMaster looks him back, throws him out. And there's 1 away for Randy Johnson, who's now 8 plate appearances and no on base for him so far. He flied out to center field first time up. And he gets a base hit, his first hit of the season, and Murphy scores from second. He's not going to try to steal, but he gets the RBI, and it's now 2-1 for San Francisco. Atlee Hammaker's shutout is over. First his perfect game was over, then his shutout was over. And now it's Glenn Hubbard is up. 6 home runs, 31 RBIs. He grounded to short last time. And he flies out to left. Flies out to Jeffrey Leonard. And there's 2 away for Bruce Benedict. And he grounds out to short. So the inning is over, but the Braves score their first run, and it's 2-1 San Francisco. Pascual Perez wants to hold them now. He continues on in a C, as a C pitcher until the 7th inning. And that's when he downgrades. Automatic downgrade. He goes down to a D. So he has 2 more innings at a C rating, which means he takes away the 9, the result of 9 mostly. There's some others as well. Anyway, here's Johnny LeMaster. He has homered, and he popped out. His 3rd home run of the season. And he reaches on an error. Wild throw on a swinging bunt, batter to first. So Benedict, he allowed that wild pitch, and now he's allowed an error. LeMaster would try to steal. It's kind of risky, because there's a lot of caught stealing rolls here. But he doesn't, just barely. He holds. So LeMaster leads off the 5th inning, and he's on base for Tom O'Malley. O'Malley's gets a strike on him. I'm using the jump system, so not the automatic jump, so there's no steal attempt. And he hits into a double play, 5-4-3. So there's 2 out now for Darrell Evans. Evans walks and brings up Jack Clark. Clark has walked and singled. And he is out on the fielder's choice. So that ends the 5th inning. It's still 2-1 Giants. Pascual Perez is up. He has another inning of C grade pitching, so he'll stay in the game. He strikes out. Ramirez strikes out. And single for Jerry Royster. He will hold. Usually if it's 2-1 chance, I will go for it. But this is not 2-1. It's almost 50-50 chance. So he will stay. For Chambliss. Chambliss is flied to right and struck out his first 2 times. And he rolls a double 6. So he has a home run. Because Atlee Hammaker has a G, he has some voodoo. Not very much, though. We have to roll 11-26. The H voodoo is much better, as it's 11-46. And the I voodoo is the best, because it's 11-65, which is almost certain he will prevent the home run. But we have to roll 11-26 to prevent the home run here. Let's see what we can do. It's a 33. It stands. Chris Chambliss remains a 1, and he hits it out. That is Chambliss's home run number 11 on the season, and the Braves have the 3-2 lead. So Atlee Hammaker, with his sparkling 8-1 record, is giving up some runs today. He had such a great start, but he's had his last couple innings, he's struggled all of a sudden. And the Braves have the lead. Dale Murphy, he has flied out to center and singled, 1 for 2. And he strikes out. But after 5.5 innings, it's 3-2 Atlanta. Perez now stands to be the winner. He faces Venable, who walks, and he's got excellent speed, and he steals second base. But he doesn't have an F, because when he gets on base, like I said before, he scores at an average rate to his peers. Jeffrey Leonard, 10 home runs, 41. He is 0 for 2. No, he has a single. 1 for 2. And he singles, but even though if he probably was an F, he'd probably score here. But because he's average, he is out at home, 7-2, batter to first. So Jerry Royster, of all people, even though he's a poor outfielder, throws him out. And Venable thinks he can take a chance, but he gets thrown out at home. And even though there's a single, there's 1 out on the play. He's going to try to steal, though. And he steals second. So he's on second now. But there's 1 out. And you can read here, single to left, runner out at home, except, yes, F. If he would have been an F runner, he would have scored. If there was 2 out, any runner scores. That's what the asterisk means. So the Giants do not get the tying run. Here's Milt May. He is 0 for 1 with a walk. And he rolls double 5, and it's a single, and Jeffrey Leonard scores. So we are tied at 3. He's not going to try to steal. He's a slow runner. And I should say an S-rated runner. But he drives in the tying run, and it's now 3-3. Brad Wellman is up. He's walked twice. One intentionally. And he strikes out. And Hammaker's still a C, so he stays in the game. He'll swing away, and he pops out. So after 6 complete, the score is San Francisco 3, Atlanta 3. Terry Harper leads off the 7th. He is 0 for 2. And he pops out to short. Randy Johnson grounds out to second, and Glenn Hubbard flies out to left. And now Perez has reached the 7th inning. He automatically is lowered to a D rating, which means he allows all base hits. He nullifies none of them. This is usually the time that we think about pulling him. However, he's up 2nd in the inning. So this is what I do. I go and check and see if Bob Horner plays at all in the series. If he plays anywhere in the series, he's eligible to play here. No Bob Horner. Royster plays third base in the 2nd game. And in the 3rd game, we have no Horner. So Horner is not eligible to come into the game at all. That's the way I do it. The series, anybody who appeared in the series is eligible to appear in any of the games of the series. Watson is a pinch hitter, but I don't think he plays third base. He's a first baseman. Royster plays third. That's something we can work with here. And he's much better left fielder, or he's not a very good left fielder, although he has an assist in this game, but he can come in and play short. Then we can bring in a left fielder. So who would we bring in that can play left field? We can bring in Brett Butler. Maybe Watson as well. So we will do a double switch. Change the pitcher, left fielder. Horner's not eligible, unfortunately. Claudel Washington. Let's see if he's probably better than... Yes, he's eligible. So that's who we'll bring in. He's a better hitter than Brett Butler. Brett Butler struggled when he was with... Although he's not bad. Okay, he's about the same. Yeah, so we'll bring in Butler. We said we're going to bring him in. So here he is. He struggled in 82, but he was better in 83. Oh, yes, I didn't double click him. So you have to have replacement Brett Butler here for it to work. So, yes, and he's a great fielder. In fact, he should probably play center. So that's what we'll do. We'll move Brett Butler to center. Well, I don't see too many play that says left fielder 3 has an effect. So it's like a waste to have a guy with a great arm in left field. So we'll put Murphy in left field. He has a 2-arm, even though he probably didn't play much in left field in 1983, but that's what we'll do here. Then we have to bring in a pitcher for Randy Johnson, and we'll bring the people who are eligible are Forster, but he's the closer. I usually put him off. Camp, Moore, Garber, and Bedrosian. Bedrosian appeared in 2 games, so we'll bring in Bedrosian. He still has 84 innings left in the season. He has lots left because we're almost halfway through the season. So we've been saving him for the second half of the season, and he can pitch to his heart's content almost now. So he is coming in. He's going to pitch, and we double switch. Butler's in the game now in center field. Royster, we got to move him to third, or also give me notification that I don't have a third baseman. So Royster will go to third, and Murphy goes to left, and Butler goes to center, and Bedrosian comes into the game. And Bedrosian is 0-2, but he has a sparkling ERA of 2.02. He is not the closer yet, but he is an excellent reliever. So all that to say, we're going to start the 7th inning for the Giants, and Johnny LeMaster is up. He's homered. He's reached on an error by Bruce Benedict, and he is popped out to third. Tie game, 3-3. Strikes out. Here's Tom O'Malley. He is... Now he's got these question marks. So what does that mean? I think he just had some kind of strange play. He's not 0 for 4, he's 0 for 3, so it's just notifying us that there was some strange play that happened there last time up. So here, he strikes out again. Bedrosian comes in and strikes the first two men up. He faces Evans. Evans is walked, flied to right, and grounded to short. And he grounds to short again. So after 7, 3-3. Hammaker is still going fine. He has double Z's, which means he doesn't walk a lot of batters. He strikes out batters and he nullifies some home runs. So he was an excellent pitcher in 1983. Faces Benedict. Benedict's 0 for 2. And he flies out to center. Brett Butler, his first time up. Brett Butler's batting .240. 308, 330, and again, another Brave that is underperforming. And he pops out to short. And Rafael Ramirez, the shortstop, he's got a strike. So if there was a W, this is why W's are so devastating for a pitcher. It's just a strike, but if he has the W, he walks the guy. So it's really a real handicap to have that W. Here's second pitch to Ramirez. And he strikes out. So instead of a walk, he strikes him out. And Bedrosian comes up now here in the bottom of the 8th. So let's look at Atlee Hammaker's line so far. He's pitched 8 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, no walks, and 8 strikeouts. But that gave up a home run to... who was it again? It was... Chris Chambliss, yes. So here's Bedrosian to pitch his second inning of work, facing Jack Clark, who is 1 for 2 with a walk. And he strikes out. That's the 3rd strikeout already for Bedrosian. And here's Max Venable. He gets double sixes. So Bedrosian does not have any voodoo. So whatever he rolls, he gets. And if he rolls at 11, 15, 25, 31, 33, 44, 51, 55, and 66, it's a home run. And he rolls a 35, which is a triple. So with 1 out triple, that means the Braves are going to bring the infield in here in the 8th inning. Jeffrey Leonard is up. He's 2 for 3. 2 singles. He's looking for one with the drawn-in infield. Here's the pitch to Leonard. He grounds out to the pitcher. Right to the pitcher. Bedrosian looks at Venable and throws him out, and the runners hold. So with 2 away, now the runner at third isn't as dangerous, but it's Milt May who is singled, walked, and popped out. 1 for 2 today. Here's the pitch to Milt May. He grounds out, and the Giants don't get the go-ahead run. But Atlee Hammaker is now D. So we can bring in a reliever for him. Now, Minton is one of the greatest hitting pitchers that we've ever seen in this replay. Some of the Pirates in 1980, I remember, were great hitters. But since then, we haven't seen a hitter as great as Minton. I have no qualms of bringing him in, even though he's second up in the batting lineup. So we're bringing in, look at this, on base 615, slugging 909. Yes, we don't have any fear of having him come up to bat. So he's coming in. He's not the greatest pitcher, though, unfortunately. He's a 6'1", although he is a G, which means he has some voodoo, and a DP+. But he's coming in now. He is he's 0-3, 579. So he's had some unlucky rolls against him. But batting, he is batting .538 with 3 home runs and 4 RBIs in 13 at bats. So he has been incredible with the bat, and we will take advantage of that in the bottom of the ninth if he can make it through this inning without getting pulled. But he's going to face the heart of the lineup. So here's Royster. Royster is 1 for 3, and he walks to lead off. So at 23-61, we're not going to steal with him. So he's on first base for Chris Chambliss, who's the hero for the Braves with that 2-run homer last time up. And he walks. So there's 2 men on with the walk. He does not have a W, so it's not his fault. They're just rolling 14s here. So you have 2 men on for Dale Murphy. The powerful Dale Murphy is 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. Double sixes. So he has voodoo. He has that G, so it can be nullified. Let's see, if he rolls, first you have to go through Murphy. Murphy says, okay, are you going to let me voodoo? You're going to let the voodoo stand. If he rolls higher than 46, Minton doesn't even get a chance to roll for voodoo. Let's see what he gets. 22. So now, if he rolls a 22, he will nullify the home run. Let's see what he gets. 66. Home run stands. Dale Murphy knocks it out. And it's 6-3 Braves, and Minton is down to a D because he allowed 3 runs in the inning. Walk, home run. I really would like to have his bat, though. He strikes out. Bedrosian's coming out. Who should we bring in for Bedrosian? We'll bring in Watson. First priority are the players that have played in the game, actually. So Watson will come in, Bob Watson, formerly of the Astros. And he's going to face, he's a good hitter. He's batting .407 this year so far. One of the few Braves that is above his real totals, but he only has 60 plate appearances. You know, if I was the Braves manager, I would put him in more. But unfortunately, he only has 170 at-bats. So here we go. He gets double 3, so it's a double. And Minton is really struggling. Although none of these are his fault. He's an S. Here's Hubbard. Fouls out. And, but see, if the pitcher is up, I'd walk him. But it's Brett Butler, so it doesn't pay to walk him. And he strikes out. So he survives the inning, and he gets to bat in the bottom of the ninth. And he's going to need to bat because they're down 3 runs. And that means now, can Watson stay in the game? He's a first baseman. The other first baseman is Chambliss. He's not as good defensively, so he's coming out. And the closer's coming up, Terry Forster. Terry Forster, he has 13 saves and 1 blown save. So 13 saves and 14 chances. So he is a pretty reliable closer. He's a 13-2 with an H. That's what you want, an H. And a Y, which means he strikes out a lot of people. And that B, the beloved B. Faces Wellman. I know he's walked twice. Was there anybody better? Yes, Youngblood. Youngblood is a great hitter. He's coming in. He's coming in to face Terry Forster. We won't call Terry Forster what David Letterman called him. We will be nice. So here's Youngblood. He's batting .290 with .374 on base and .473 slugging in June. And this is Cyrus. I love this, that you can look him up by month. He's having an excellent June, batting .417. He's red hot. He's the man you want up there right now. So here's the pitch to Joel Youngblood. And he gets double ones. So he can roll again. We look at the inner column. We don't want the 11. We don't want the 32. We don't want 34. We don't want 54. Anything, or 65. Anything else is okay. 45. So he's going to double. You probably wouldn't get a home run anyway because of that H. That H is so much more powerful than the G in nullifying homers. Here's Greg Minton. This is what we've been waiting for. His .615 on base and his .909 slugging. So far, he's batting .538, .647, .1308 slugging. The greatest hitting pitcher since Babe Ruth. Here we go. He gets a 1-2 double play. All this buildup. and he hits into a double play line drive. But when you roll a 1-2, pretty much anybody hits into a double play. It's the worst roll you can do in this game. 1-2, and it's a double play, and there goes the threat. Terry Forster has smooth sailing now, and he gets a strikeout, and that's the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. Your final score: Atlanta 6 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, 2 men left on base, and San Francisco 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors, and 7 left on base. The winning pitcher is Steve Bedrosian. He is 1 for 2. It's his first win of the season. He pitched 2 innings, and his ERA went down to 191. Greg Minton with the loss. He's 0 for 4, and his ERA jumps to 6.34. Bedrosian gets the save. The batting stars, you can either give it to Chambliss or you can give it to Murphy. I think it's Murphy. He's the one who hit the big. In fact, the way I do it is if he gets, the best hitter of the game, he's called player of the game. But if he gets the 9th inning home run, like Dale Murphy is, he's called today's hero. Today's hero is Dale Murphy, 2 for 4, 1 home run, 3 RBIs, and a stolen base to raise his average to 296. And the best hitter for the Giants probably would be Jeffrey Leonard with 2 for 4, although he doesn't have any RBIs. He did score a run. And Greg Minton, of course, is the GOAT. So, and then we save the game. So I just put 0617, which is the day. And I put 6 for the Braves, 3 for the Giants. Then I save it. Game saved. And this is where I can put in who has a save, who blew a save, etc., etc. There are no blown saves today. Minton came in late, so he didn't get a blown save. He came in with it tied. And Bedrosian gets the win, so he doesn't have anything else. So there's our save, blown, save, data saved. Do you want to include this game? Yes, I do. And that is official now. Forster has his 14th save of the season. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you enjoyed today's Game of the Week from National Pastime III and the best and worst of the 80s replay. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Goodbye, everybody.